Hey guys, Daryl Shergan, Quest for Vape. This is a review for two products from Innokin. This one I already reviewed. This is the Coolfire 4 Plus, but this is the Storm Edition. And this is the Endura T22. This is a starter kit. It's a mouth-to-lung inhale. It's a kit that comes with the mod and the tank. And I'm going to go down close and personal and show you the breakdown of each of these, how they work, how they function, and then we're going to come back up, talk about them, talk about the vape on them, and then I'm going to show you the giveaway right now. Innokin Coolfire 4 Plus Storm Edition. This is a kit that comes with the Coolfire 4 Plus mod as well as the I-Sub-G tank, and it is in a cool black and white color. This is specifically for Star Wars. They're not going to come out and say it for, you know, but like, I mean, the font and the colors, this is the Storm Edition. So they don't want to say Stormtrooper, but I will say that's your Stormtrooper mod. Very cool. Okay, so very much in line with Innokin packaging. Here's all your specs. It's a 70 watt, 3300 milliamp hour mod, micro USB, onboard charging. You do not remove the batteries on this, and it can support 2 amp fast charging. All right, let's get this sucker open and look at this. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to be very excited right now because this is meant to look like, this is what the Stormtroopers vape. All right, those Stormtroopers, they're not allowed to smoke because they're in deep space, so they have to vape instead. Sounds like Darth Vader in his mask. Hold on. This is what a Stormtrooper sounds like. You ready? There you go. All right. Daryl's a little bit delirious. I'm getting over a cold. I'm patient 0. Cool box. The noise you hear in the background is a vape shop active below me. Okay. So, you gotta love the packaging from Innokin. These are all the specs. All right, real quickly, 70 watts of real vaping power, OLED screen, big, bright, beautiful case, durable finish, ergonomic power button, tricolor LED display, level indicator. That's the green, yellow, and red indicator for battery charge, micro USB charging, advanced onboard safety. Okay, read that stuff amongst yourselves. You could pause here if you want. I'm not going to go through this. It's not a bedtime story. It's the Innokin Coolfire Plus complete vaping system. Oh, how cool is that? This is, again, the Stormtroopers edition. Wow, it's nice. It's nice, smooth. This has the exact, like, look and feel of what, if you could reach into the movie screen and touch one of those Stormtroopers, like, armor, it probably would feel just like this. It's got this cool, I'm sorry, I'm moving it around because I'm looking at it, but like carbon fiber even. Look at that. Really cool. Nice. There's your micro USB. There's your power button. There's your plus and minus. There's your vent holes. There's your 510. Let me go ahead and poke and jab. Everybody likes to see this get jabbed at. Oh yeah, there's a spring behind there. Yeah, it'll fit anything you want it to fit. 510 threading, nice and smooth. Those like these like the top of a castle, turrets or whatever, crenellations. That's for airflow. Of course, these tanks take airflow. Well, this one doesn't, but some of them do take airflow from the base. But oh, look how nice. I-Sub-G. This is going to be a really cool looking mod and tank. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a review video on this. I'm just showing you the Storm Edition, coinciding with the release of the Star Wars movie. What else comes in here? A spare coil
I mean, this is the I sub G tank. It's a 0.5 ohm coil, Canthal, nice screen. It's a horizontal coil, not vertical. This tank does not have top fill. This is so cool. The same thing as the I sub G. It is the I sub G. Just Star Wars Stormtrooper color. So that's how you fill it. As a matter of fact, there's the coil. That's how you take the coil out of the tank. Pretty clean, I gotta say, right for having just opened it, sealed in the package. Very clean. That's how the coil seals to the chimney. Is that seat. I'm not going to get into the specifics and details. You guys have seen this tank before. If you haven't, watch my other review of the Innokin Coolfire Plus. There you go. There it is. This O-ring seals it to the base. And this base is just flat. There's no airflow up from the bottom. Let's put this back together. Here's your 510 connection. Very nice. Very clean. All the threads are clean. There's no burrs. There's no metal turnings hanging off. All the paint is nice and crisp on this tank. This is paint, I'm assuming. Yeah, that's gotta be. All right. So you fill the tank. I'm not going to do it because I already have one of these and it's already filled and I don't need to vape on it, but I just want to show you how cool is that. So there it is, and then when it's together, there you go. You got your Coolfire Plus, Coolfire 4 Plus, and your I sub G tank, matchy-matchy with the Star Wars movie theme, the Storm Edition. Let's go up top and check this bad boy out.
All right, now let's look at the Coolfire 4 Storm Edition. This looks and feels exactly like if I thought I was going to reach out and grab a Stormtrooper's armor, that's what it would even feel like. It's got that, I don't know, this smooth but yet not glossy texture that kind of feels, I mean, it feels exactly like I think a Stormtrooper's helmet or armor or shoulder pad would feel. All right, so what's up with this? Oh, I'm breaking in a new coil here. I'm at 30 watts. 30 watts. Now, the Coolfire 4 Plus kit comes with a 0.5 ohm horizontal coil. That's good for 20 to 35 watts. But I'm not using that coil. Yeah, here it is. The 25 to 30 20 to 35 watts. I showed you this in the close-up. I used that already. It was a good vape at 20 watts. It was a very, very decent vape at 35 watts. I just put in the, here it is. They do make a 30 to 70 watt Clapton bottom vertical coil, and that's what I have in here, and I'm really enjoying that. This one I'm breaking in. This is the real quick how to break in the coil session. I'm not getting elaborate. It basically says prime it, drip like 3 to 5 drops on the coil, then put it in the tank for a minute, and then start at the lowest wattage range. Do this until you get past the cotton breaking in taste. After the first bunch of puffs like that, you should start to taste flavor. When you start to taste some flavor, then start moving up the wattage range. I'm not at the range where I like to vape yet. I'm just trying to break a cotton coil in.
Those are the instructions. And you can see I'm starting to get better vapor production. I'm still only at 35 watts. Still only at 35 watts, but now the flavor's coming through. I feel like this coil takes the first second to ramp up. So you could do a quick purging exhale, or maybe a couple of quick tester puffs. And then the flavor comes through. But this is still like breaking the coil in for the first time. You're not going to vape like this all the time. Now that I feel like the flavor's coming through and the ramp up is a little bit longer than I would like, I'm going to move that up to 45 watts. Flavor's much better now. Definitely much better. Now, can you get a good vape? It's not where I like to vape, but can you get a good vape at that range? Yes, you can. If that's where you like to vape, and that's the intensity level, like you move to 45 and it's too intense, back it down to 30, 35. You're going to get a good vape. If you're new to my channel and you haven't met me yet, I've been vaping since October of 2014, so only about 15 months. But I've progressed to some fairly advanced vaping. And I'm going to show you how I usually like to vape. On big stuff like this, with tanks like this. At 80 to 100 watts is my typical range. So this would not be my normal everyday vape, but this could be a very good vape for you. And don't worry about what Daryl likes. Worry about what you like. So, at 45 watts, it's not optimal, but it's a good vape. I'm going to go to 60 watts because I feel that this coil really breaks in quickly. There's no need to go, once you go through, like start out slow in the beginning, but once you start getting flavor, that tells you the coil is really wicking nicely, and now you can start going up higher in increments. So I went 30, 35, 45. It was hitting nicely at 45 for a bunch of hits, and now I'm going to go to 60. Awesome flavor. Awesome vapor production. Let's look at this. That's a very robust vape. Nice, dense vapor. Great flavor. Can play around with the airflow, close it off some, open it up some, depending on how you like your vape. Now let's go all the way up to 70 watts. Now, by the way, when you first hit the power button to change the power to go up or down, it'll blink. It won't change. It'll blink. Almost like it's asking you, are you sure you want to do this? And then you have to hit it again, and then it will change. That's 70 watts. Maxed out on the device. Maxed out on the coil. It's a nice vape. It's very intense. I'm not exactly chain hitting this. While I'm talking, I'm also doing that in between. I feel like this coil is probably better at around 60 watts. Or maybe it just needs to break in a little bit more before I go back up to max power. Really nice vape. Okay, so what we're going to talk about now is they sent me this other tank, the Apex5. I reviewed this already. I had this in stainless steel. It's in another review video where I review the Coolfire 4 Plus. I had this in stainless steel. Now that I've got the Storm Edition, and they sent me a black Apex5 tank. The Apex5 is a top fill tank and uses the same exact coils. It holds 5 milliliters of juice where this holds 4 milliliters of juice. So that's going to be in the giveaway. Let's take a look at this with the Apex5 tank. The main feature on this one for me is the top fill. It does have this cool upper window so you can see where your juice level is at, and then this window down below. And the top fill is real simple. See those two plates? All you do is twist this top ring, and that opens that up. I can't tilt it. Here. Now you can see that's where you fill it. So that's nice, having top fill on a setup like this. And I believe these are only like 60 bucks. I do feel that this Apex tank is a better vape than the I sub G. I really like this Apex tank a lot. I don't know where the airflow comes from on this one, but it gets in there and it works. And if you don't like that window, you can actually turn this ring here, and there it is. There's the window, and then you can turn this ring so that you, I don't know, block that off and protect it. Oh, excuse me, that is the airflow. See that window? The more you close that off, the more you restrict the airflow. So that's airflow totally closed, and the more you open up those windows, if those windows are totally open, then that's airflow wide open. Same exact coil, same exact juice, same exact power. I feel it's a better vape on the Apex 5, but you may like that nice cool Stormtrooper look. Me, I prefer this tank, and I don't mind the mixy-matchy. Now, close-up of the Endura T22 complete vaping system from Innokin. Okay, so this is the box it comes in. These are all the specs. 2,000 milliamp hour battery, a tank that has top fill. It's 4.5 milliliter capacity, and the tank is Pyrex glass and stainless steel. 14 watts regulated. Well, you don't regulate it. It regulates itself. You just have a power button, but a 2,000 milliamp hour capacity and a 1.5 ohm coil. Here are the warnings. If you're any of these categories of person, don't use this. Okay? And it has a micro USB cable included inside, in case you didn't notice that. Okay, so here is the product. Look at this nice at a glance. Let me get a close-up here for you. At a glance, if you opened this up and you're not very experienced, you can still really figure this out. That's nice. What comes in the box, the different parts, how you fill it. That's very important for people who have never vaped before. They don't know how to fill a tank and how you charge it and when to charge it, that it's green or it's red. It's very, very important. That may seem obvious, but to a beginner, that is not obvious. And we have seen people that, like, they thought you filled it, you put juice in here, and then, no. So, okay, what else comes in here? Here's, oh, by the way, here's the mod. Look how cool that is. Just to give you a perspective of size. About the same size as a mechanical tube mod. Like, very nice, but with a little bit of that shape. Okay, there's the mod. Here's the tank, and this is a top fill tank, so I'm kind of excited about that. Very Innokin-esque 510 connection there with the airflow from the coil. Very, very Innokin-esque, an airflow slot right there. But we'll get into that in a minute. Let's see what else is in this box. A spare coil, so you get one in the tank. See that right there in the tank? And one spare. You get a nice long USB to micro USB charging cable, and you also get a packet of spare O-rings. Nice for the tank. Instruction manual, which I'm not going to go through the instruction manual. If you buy this, you go through that instruction manual. That's what they're there for. You got to read the instructions. All right? That gives you all the specs, all the warnings, everything about this tank. I'm just going to get into it. It's not that much to it. Got a nice sleek design to it, nice feel in the hand. Okay, there's the power button, so right-handed, left-handed, if you're a thumb person. Okay, there's your 510 connection. I'm not going to jab and poke at that to prove to you it is got a spring behind it, and there's this pattern here is cool looking, but it's also for airflow, because these tanks are fed from below. From the base, the 510 is your airflow as well. All right, there's your USB, micro USB, excuse me, charging connection. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Power this on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, that is how it's red. I think it needs to be charged. Oh no, now it's on. All right, put that off to the side. Let's get this tank. Look at how nice that is. This is the Prism, or the T22. How pretty that is. Here's your drip tip metal. Kind of tight, restricted draw type of. Let's get this off here. Restricted draw. A couple of O-rings holding that on, and that is metal, not plastic. Here's the top of the tank. There's your coil right down inside of there. It's actually a top dual coil. One going this way and the other going that way, crossing each other. Very much reminiscent of the iClear 30 from last year, 2014. All right. And listen, the noise going on in the background, I am at Fluid Vapor in Bohemia, New York, so there is going to be noise. This is how you fill the tank. Unscrew this. Very simple, top fill design. Doesn't get any easier than that, guys. You put your nozzle, dropper bottle, right down between this chimney, the coil actually, and there. All right, you can see right in there, there's the coil. There's the uppermost coil, and then you can even see the one below it. They're perpendicular to each other. How do you change the coil? You unscrew this bottom piece, and then you just gently wiggle this out. It fits in there. It seats in the tank with this O-ring right here. See that O-ring on the inside of the tank? And it's got this shape here that it fits into. This is the coil. It's clearly marked 1.5 ohm. This is a Kanthal. You can see the cotton through these many big wicking holes. Many. All right. And here's your airflow right up from the base of the 510. It's coming in from here and from these two holes. So this is not really a lung-hitting type of device here. It's more mouth to lung. I don't believe this needs to be primed. I believe this tank, you just fill the tank and go. And you let it wick normally and naturally the way it normally wicks. So let's go ahead and put this tank back together. All right, here's how this coil, it's a big ass coil, fits in there, and then these cutouts line up nicely just like that. Very simple, very simple. And then this base plate screws right on over the 510 pin, which is the bottom of the coil. So there you go. Again, we've got our airflow right there. I'm going to say, while in use, take this off once in a while and clean that with a paper towel and make sure that this is all clear and not gunked up. If this gets gunked up, you're going to have problems with your airflow. All right, so let's go ahead and fill this, and then we'll go up top and vape on it. I'm going to show you in close-up how this thing fills. And I am vaping on some Caramel Apple Crisp from Endura Liquids. This is a holiday flavor. Notice this is an 80-20, 80 PG-20. I'm doing this for a reason. I want to show you guys this starter or step up from a starter beginner kit is going to very easily rock this 80-20 juice. And I want you to see that. I'm even going to get you some close-ups here. And we're filling, and we're filling. 4.5 milliliter capacity in this. I'm going to get a little bit down there. I'm not worried about this thing leaking. All right, that's good enough. I think the main key here is you don't overfill. I believe there's a fill line. It says do not, okay. Do not fire if low on liquid. Stop if there is a burnt taste. Remember to replace coil. Wait 5 minutes before vaping or you could burn the coil. So we are going to wait and respect that 5 minutes. This tank is full. I wouldn't go filling it all the way up to the tippy top. I'm not going to. And that's it. Nice top fill, easy peasy. What could be easier than that, right? So we're going to let this sit for 5 minutes, come back up top. Hey guys, okay, we're back up top, and we have just taken a look at the Endura T22 and the Coolfire 4 Plus Storm Edition, and I want to talk about these and show you the vape experience on these. So this Endura T22, I've already broken in the coil. Start at the lowest wattage setting. Well, this one you have no wattage setting. So what you want to do with this is just take very short, quick puffs to get it going. The first few puffs, you just want to get heat into it. That's it. I wouldn't even recommend inhaling. Just sort of do mouth puffs, not even mouth to lung. Just get through the cotton breaking in of the coil. And as you start to taste flavor in your mouth, you know the coil is breaking in. Shouldn't take more than 3 to 5 puffs like that. Then you can start. It's really not meant for long inhales. The airflow is very tight and restricted from that drip tip, and the air flow in through the bottom. Remember, that airflow was from the base of the coil. Those little tiny holes come in right in there, so it's not a very airy draw. It's a tight draw. This is meant for a smoker that's used to a tight draw from smoking. I can do a long inhale, but it's a very tight draw, so I'm not going to say that's going to be comfortable. I would say this is a great starter kit for a good mouth to lung, specifically designed mouth to lung with a Canthol coil, 1.5 ohm, 80-20 juice I'm vaping here. No problem wicking that, and you get great flavor, great vapor production for the power of this mod. And these, from what I understand, these are retail at about $45 to $50. You can get them at Vapor DNA online, I believe, for like $34.99. So that's the price range you can expect to pay, anywhere from 35 to 50 bucks for a nice starter kit. Not going to have any leaking, not going to have any gurgling issues. It handles any juice. Probably with a 50-50 or 60-40 juice, you get even bigger clouds, more flavor. But for right now, I'm using the 80-20 juice that I have around, because I don't buy juice specifically for starters. That's a great vape. Great vape. Okay, we're back up top. You've seen how these work in close-up
and I'm just going to go ahead and talk about these, the experience of vaping on them, my opinion, and whether I feel they're a good value and worth buying or not. The answer is yes. Both of them are very good value. This is a starter kit for a smoker. This will get a smoker off cigarettes. This is phenomenal. And I'm giving one of these away along with a 5-pack of the coil. So it comes with a coil installed plus a spare, and now you get an additional 5. Use this yourself or give it away to a smoker. You're not going to get the black and red one. You're going to get a white and blue racing stripe and extra 5 coils. So there you go. Bless a smoker. Get them off the cigarettes with that. Now this Stormtrooper edition, what I will say is it comes with this kit with the I sub G tank, which is a phenomenal tank, and that comes with 2.5 ohm 20 to 35 ohm watt coils, and those are great coils. But I'm also going to throw in, with this kit, you'll get exactly like I'm showing you here. You're also going to get an extra 5 coils. These are the bottom vertical Clapton coils. You can vape these from 30 to 70 watts, and they're a phenomenal vaping coil. You're also going to get the Apex5 tank. That's not this tank. In addition to this one that comes in the kit, I'm also going to give you the iSub Apex5. This is a 5 milliliter top fill, top airflow, and it comes with 2 of these 70 watt coils, plus I'm giving you this additional pack. So you've got a nice vape for yourself, a nice vape for a smoker, and this extra tank. That's the whole giveaway. How do you win it? You have to like this video. You have to be subscribed to my channel. You have to comment down below what you like best about these products. That's it. And in 3 days, on Thursday, I'm going to give it 3 full days to run. On Thursday afternoon, I'm going to pick from a randomized selector of the comments down below. So we're going to get some nice activity on my channel on this video really quickly. All right, I want to talk about this guy. I went away for the weekend. I didn't want to think about YouTube or vaping or reviews or anything. I just wanted to have something on my pocket that I could use when I needed it, and that's it. I wasn't bringing along my whole big bag of stuff, my mods, my juice, my build kit. I didn't bring any of that. I didn't want to think about batteries and chargers. I just wanted to enjoy a nice weekend, and that's exactly what we did. So all I had with me for the weekend was this mod with a full charge and these 2 tanks. That's it. And I didn't even bring the charger for this because I figured when it runs out, it runs out. I'm done. That'll last me through the weekend. And it did. And you know what? By Sunday, when we got home, it was just about dead, and I plugged it in, and it charged back up in about an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and a half. And it is pass-through charging, so you can vape while you're charging. I just wanted to let you know that leaving the house with this in my pocket was enough for a whole weekend. And that's the first time in over a year that I ever left my house with only 1 mod and no backups for my backups. But here's the other thing. I didn't want to have to think about anything like that. I wasn't a professional serious vapor for the weekend. I was just a guy that used to smoke and needed to puff on something once in a while. And that's all I did. I wasn't cloud chasing. We were also around like a nice shopping village. We were around a bed and breakfast. We were out to really nice restaurants, and I wasn't going to be walking around chucking clouds like this. In that kind of environment, this comes across weird, and I didn't want to have to think about and deal with any of that. And the good news is that after a year, after 15 months of vaping, I now vape 1.5 milligram nicotine strength. 3 is even too rough for me and harsh, and I'm using up the 3s I got, but I prefer 1.5 now, high VG, and I can walk around with this and toot on this all day, and it's fine. So you're not going to always need to vape as excessively and indulgently as you do right now. That's what you need to get off cigarettes. So we go through this little arc, this curve, this life cycle of vaping where we smoked and now we need to transition into something we can relate to. That replaces the urge to smoke, but then we're still constantly craving more and better and flavor and juice, and then we find those juice flavors that we like, and that'll evolve over time. But eventually you'll come full circle and get back to where you could just walk around with. I couldn't walk around with that. That is not going to satisfy me. That's for somebody who's still smoking and needs to get off. But this, if that's all I ever had for the rest of my life, that would be sufficient, and I could do that and not need to go back to cigarettes. And that's my point. And it's very good to know that. And so that's my thumbs up vote of approval for the mod, for the tank, for the setup, for the vaping experience on it, and the reliability of it. Now, how it's going to perform over the next few months, I don't know. But I have had this guy for about a month, and it's not the only thing I vape, but I have been using it consistently. I've had no problems with it. That's what I'll throw in my pocket when I don't want to have to think about vaping stuff, and I just want something reliable, grab and go, put it in my pocket, and what more validation can I offer than that? So, guys, if you're not a winner for this package, but you know a smoker, I highly recommend that setup, or the Endura T18, but this has a little longer battery life. Well, I went at 2,000 milliamp hours instead of like 1,000 or 1,200, whatever the T18 has. And this guy, if you're a fan of the futuristic space odyssey type movies, you will enjoy. Tell me that doesn't remind you of something. And when I tell you it looks and feels exactly like what one of those soldiers' equipment would feel like. I think this is standard issue on the enemy battle station. They all get their own vape like that. So that's it, guys. Those are those two products from Innokin. Well done, Innokin. You get my thumbs up from Quest for Vape, and that's the giveaway. Thank you very much for watching. Also, let's do this. Show some love for Innokin. Find them on Facebook. It's Innokin Technologies. Find them on Instagram. Give them a like. Give them a share. I have some hand checks on Instagram with this very exact same thing. There's one of them where I'm at like a brewery with a flight of microbrew beers and a whole platter of cheese, and then I put this classy gentleman's vape right next to it. Give that a like or a reshare if you so care. Thank you very much for watching my channel, Quest for Vape.